Hi, I'm Dame Sarah Story and I'm proud and excited to be the first Active Travel Commissioner of the Sheffield City region. I believe that active travel is a solution to many of the challenges we face in a modern society, and it helps to create a happy and healthier population. The Upper Don Valley from Stocksbridge to Sheffield City Centre provides the perfect opportunity to do this, with a 12-mile traffic-free route to allow people to walk, ride, kayak or run, and many parks are already in place or are planned to be so.
I'm Julie Grocott. I'm Stocksbridge Town Councillor, a position I've held for the last 4 years. I've also been elected recently as the Sheffield City Councillor for the very wonderful Stocksbridge and Upper Don ward. We now have a great plan in place to link up the Upper Don Valley all the way down into Sheffield. It's a great piece of work. It will mean that people have access to our fantastic countryside in the north of Sheffield. What we need now is for decision makers to get on, get the work done so that we can all enjoy our wonderful outdoor countryside.
My name is Mark Dransfield. I'm the Managing Director of Dransfield Properties based here in Fox Valley. We started on this project back in 2006. The scheme has taken us 10 years to deliver, and I hope we've done a good job by linking up the footpaths and the cycleways down the Don Valley. It's been a very exciting scheme that we've been involved in, and the houses to the rear of 18 months ahead of schedule, and hopefully with all the new housing down the valley we will be delivering a further 2,000 new homes to this part of Sheffield.
I'm David Holmes. I've been riding my bike in and around for Sheffield for work, pleasure, all sorts of reasons for more years than I care to remember, and to be honest, sometimes I think I'm lucky to still be alive. When you're riding on busy roads at rush hour, it's congested, it's polluted, and let's be honest, not every motorist looks after you as much as they should. Some seem to put you at risk. It's stressful. This isn't. This is beautiful. It's an inspiring place. I've got the river at my side, I've got the trees, I've got the sound of birds, I've got fresh air to breathe. I'm not worried about what's happening around me. This is just so different to riding on the road. If we can create places like this, they will inspire people to travel in a different way, to walk, run and ride to work, all the way along the Don Valley. It's a dream, but it's a dream we can achieve. Just look at this.
Hi, I'm Simon Ogden. I'm Chair of the Sheffield Waterway Strategy Group, which brings together all the organisations in Sheffield with an interest in rivers and canals, and I've been a member of the Upper Don Walk Trust since its foundation in around 2001. We've now got a once-in-a-generation opportunity in the Upper Don Valley. It's a 12-mile length of valley which used to be dominated by heavy industry, mills, mines, quarries, and over the last 30 years nearly all of those sites are closed down, but they haven't yet been redeveloped. Now they are being redeveloped, so we have an opportunity to link all those together and make sure that each of those sites delivers public access and improvements to the river, and we can end up with a fantastic walking, cycling, amenity route from Stocksbridge through Kelham Island into the city centre. At Deepcar, you've got the old brickworks site, which has been derelict for nearly 30 years now, but right now, Bloor Homes are starting to build the first of 400 houses on the site, and as part of their planning permission they also are required to put in about 1 kilometre of riverside walk, cycleway and parkland. Next you come on to the old Moorhall tip, which was the slag tip for the Stocksbridge Steelworks. Liberty Steels are now reclaiming that. It's a moonscape at the moment, but again there's a great chance for about another 1.5 kilometres of public route right the way through to Warncliffe Side. Liberty Steels are now carrying out a final phase of reclamation on this site, after which there will be opportunities to discuss its future. The Trust believes that they could become public open space as part of the long distance walking and cycling route, and giving access to both the largely unspoilt River Don and the historic Warncliffe Crags and Woodlands, where the story of rock climbing in Britain began.
Hi, my name is Sam Atkins. I'm a regular rock climber out at Warncliffe Crags. I really enjoy climbing out at Warncliffe. It gives a great sense of freedom, out enjoying having fun with the friends and nature, and I also really enjoy pushing myself at a sport that I enjoy. Climbing has been taking place at Warncliffe Crags for over 100 years now. The popularity of the crags meant that the footpaths have become rather dilapidated and in some places really don't even exist. I think we would definitely benefit from an all-weather, purpose-built cycling and hiking path.
At Uterbridge, the 200-year-old paper mill site is now under redevelopment, mainly for housing, but the planning permission includes a kilometre of riverside and walking and cycling, and the developer is also paying for a new bridge that will link that site across the river at Uterbridge playing fields, where the kayakers also meet to access the river, and then on into Uterbridge village.
Hi, my name's Charlotte. I'm from the Sheffield Canoe Club. There is approximately 250 members to the Sheffield Canoe Club and we meet as often as once a week. I enjoy coming down here because it allows me to connect back to nature. It helps me relax after a long day of schoolwork. It's great for people of different backgrounds to come down and socialise at the river and enjoy what they like to do the most at the weekends. One thing that would be good is that we could have a footpath, a proper footpath to come down to the river. This would allow more disabled people with limited mobility to come down to the river and have a go instead of telling them they can't come down. We really look forward to seeing the Upper Don Walk being developed.
Uterbridge has its own Coronation Park and cricket ground, both on the riverside. The completed walk will help to link them up into a much more extensive green corridor upstream to Warncliffe and downstream towards Beeley Woods.
The magical thing about this stretch of bridleway is it looks so natural, idyllic today as it's covered in leaves and surrounded by trees. You can hear the birds, but it's actually really cleverly designed. It's surfaced so we can all ride along quite fast without getting covered in mud. But if we come across other people, it's wide enough to pass them in safety, and you've got really good open bends so you can see them well ahead. We can all share this space free of cars, with respect for each other, without feeling as though we're a threat. It's wonderful.
I'm Bob Johnson, local ward councillor for Hillsborough and cabinet member for Transport and Development. I'm here in Middlewood Park next to Niagara Weir. Here is an opportunity to link a great route to thousands of families who live in Wing Gardens, Hillsborough and Wadsley. The route sits next door to Middlewood Tram Terminal, and our ambition is to build a foot cycle bridge across the weir from Claywheels Lane to Middlewood Park to further extend the accessibility to the route as it opens up a direct scenic alternative for walking and cycling.
Getting access to the river from Wing Gardens through Lappings Lane and the Sheffield Wednesday Stadium is a long-term objective, but it's going to require quite a lot of negotiation with many landowners. So in the short term, there's an opportunity to connect through the Beeley Wood and Claywheels Lane routes to the Club Mill Road area via new sections of cycleway along Herries Road North, where development is taking place, and from Five Arches to Ward's End, the latter needing public funding, which is the Trust's current priority.
I'm Howard Bailey. I'm Chair of Friends of Ward's End Cemetery Heritage Park. Club Mill Road is home to one of Sheffield's hidden heritage treasures, the Victorian Ward's End Cemetery, where soldiers, cutlers and cricketers lie alongside mill owners, tool makers and victims of the Great Sheffield Flood. Here, tales of Victorian scandals can be found alongside the heroics of a forgotten Victoria Cross winner. Once forgotten and neglected, Ward's End is now being developed as a place for heritage, nature, art and performance, taking advantage of its unique location on the banks of the River Don and its position as a gateway to Parkwood Springs Country Park in the city. Although a walking route of a kind exists from Herries Road to Ward's End and along Club Mill Road to Hillfoot, it's generally of poor quality and in part unsuitable for cycling. However, there's plenty of room to upgrade it as a fast, direct, active travel and attractive leisure route to and from the city centre, with links to Parkwood Springs, Sheffield College, Hillsborough, Neepsend and Kelham. That's why this is the Upper Don Walk Trust's priority campaign for action and investment.
Hi, I'm Henry Norman and I'm from Ride Sheffield. Ride Sheffield is a group that represents mountain bikers to try and increase access and improve interactions between mountain bikers and other users in Sheffield and the Peak District. Sheffield is a cycling city. It's also got a fantastic mountain biking heritage. We're really lucky to have such good facilities like this one here at Parkwood Springs, but also up the valley over at Warncliffe and in Grenoside too. However, getting between the facilities can be a little bit more difficult, and it'd be really nice for people to be able to leave the car at home and cycle between the two.
We're supposed to believe this is a designated cycle route because it's got a bike painted on it, but it's not. It's the pavement. It's not fit for purpose. There are people moving up and down here in both directions at speed. while negotiating junctions. The people pulling across, it's dangerous, it's loud, it's horrible. There's a better way of doing it.
I'm Jane and I'm a regular commuter on this route, and the problem with it is, as you can see, is the heavy traffic and sometimes the sense that you're being poisoned on your cycle route. So if we had a better option a bit further away from the road, that would suit me fine.
On Penniston Road, the old Osborne site has been lying empty and derelict for the last 10 years. Now there are plans for it to be redeveloped, and here's an opportunity to get a section of Riverside Walk built as part of that development between Penniston Road and Rutland Road.
I'm Ben McGarry. I'm the chairperson of the Kelham Island and Neepsend Community Alliance. We are a small community of about 5,000 people, and we are centred around the River Don that runs all the way through our neighbourhood. The Upper Don Walk arrives at Kelham Island at Ball Street Bridge, but then it becomes disconnected and it's very difficult to find your way across our neighbourhood and reconnect with the walk at Bridge Houses roundabout. The council, local developers and the Upper Don Walk Trust have agreed to build a short foot and cycle bridge across the river that will connect the walk with a public route through the Little Kelham development and then connect directly to the route again at Bridge Houses roundabout.
I'm Chris Keedy. I'm the Interim Museum Manager at Sheffield Industrial Museums Trust, and this is Kelham Island Museum. The increased visitor flow through would help us share our public programmes and help people really see this as a valued, integral part of the community. By improving access, by making people see that they can walk and enjoy and connect back into the Upper Don Walk and see this museum as part of that experience would really benefit the local community.
Once the walk is connected up, not only will other communities further up the river be able to cycle or jog or walk through down into town, through Kelham Island, and also to visit our businesses and our wonderful restaurants and pubs, but our residents will also be able to continue to town by foot or by cycle, or if they want to go out into the countryside, they can also cycle and jog and walk further up the river.
In Sheffield city centre, there is an almost complete public access and full-width segregated cycleway from Kelham Island to Ladies Bridge, where you can either follow the Five Ways Walk down the River Don or the Canal Towpath, both all the way to Rotherham, or pick up a long-distance national cycle route down to Rother Valley Park, or follow Sheaf Valley down into the south of Sheffield. Almost at the end of the Upper Don Walk before Ladies Bridge, we come across Nursery Street Park, with access for kayakers, used by local residents and office workers, and looked after by the River Stewardship Company.
Being appointed as the first Active Travel Commissioner of the Sheffield City region shows the priority being given to active travel in South Yorkshire. Seeing the initiatives of local people to work with us, like this one from the Upper Don Walk Trust, shows the appetite for creating opportunities to enable people to live happier and healthier lives.